Hello and welcome to my presentation. You guys all know me because I'm from your class, but I should also introduce someone that's going to help me film my presentation.
Yeah, you know what?
Okay, now let's get serious.
So funny.
The Enlightenment, also known as the Age of Reason, was a period of time that prioritized human advancement, a period of time not for battles, but rather for human growth and developing ideas. The Enlightenment period took place roughly sometime between 1685 and 1815, with the most significant time within this period being between 1730 and 1780. The Enlightenment period influenced people to change by encouraging rational thinking. This period of time for rational thinking was a catalyst for many things. Scientific discoveries, new laws, revolutions, higher toleration towards new ideas, and many more.
Action.
Today, I'll be presenting to you how the Enlightenment period sparked an uprise of individualism.
Yeah, go.
Here's a simple definition of individualism: the freedom to prioritize your personal needs over the needs of a group, and also the freedom to act and make your own decisions.
Action.
I should also note the opposing party towards individualism is collectivism. Collectivism is the exact opposite. A collectivist society prioritizes the interest of the overall community over individuals. Examples in terms of religion are Judaism, Catholicism, and Hinduism.
Go.
Philosopher Immanuel Kant quoted a well-recognized quote from the Enlightenment period. He said the Latin phrase sapere aude, which translates to dare to know in English. A strong quote with a message encouraging people to think for themselves and to come to your own knowledge-based conclusions. In other words, make your own beliefs. Individualism is shown in our society through the freedom to vote and civil liberties granted to us.
Yeah. Action.
Civil liberties allow individualism. They are rights given to people that cannot be taken away from the government. Rights to marriage, freedom of conscience, and freedom of religion are all examples.
Action.
Now that you have a better understanding of individualism, I'll move on to discussing how individualism was related to the Enlightenment period. The Enlightenment period was a time of great discovery and innovation. People began to openly question prior beliefs, religions, and characteristics of government.
Action.
A standout figure was philosopher John Locke, who had a big role in the rise of individualism and liberalism. Individualism and liberalism often go hand in hand, as both thoughts relate to people's freedom of expression and belief. Locke is considered the father of liberalism, a nickname which came to be because Locke believed that people are endowed with natural rights to life and liberty. During the Enlightenment in 1776, when writing the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson made reference to John Locke and his beliefs of the Enlightenment. Thomas Jefferson wrote, "Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness" as reasons for wanting to separate from Great Britain. Liberty being the main point of me bringing this up, which relates to individualism, as Thomas Jefferson envisioned more of a free country. Now we'll talk about individualism in the short term. In the short term, people began to question various religions. Before the 17th century, people blindly believed in faith with no proof, ultimately leaving their fates in the hands of a higher power that they believed in. Austria was a country who had one single, clear religion, but in 1781, Austria passed the Toleration Patent of 1781, allowing non-Catholics to buy property, gain access to good education, learn trades, and other basic rights. This is clearly an example of influence that the Enlightenment period had. I bet some Catholics changed religions as there were no longer any penalties for having other beliefs. In the 17th century, people from places in Europe, such as the Netherlands, Poland, and England, were influenced by liberal ideals. However, they often dealt with lethal conflicts involving people who supported established religions. The people who were causing conflicts were religious collectivists who opposed individualist ideals. Another example would be the first separation of church and state in Dutch during 1787. Do you think that was weird?
Action.
Separation of church and state basically showed a decline in religious intolerance over time and shows that people were moving towards an individualist-like way of thinking. In present day, we look back at people like Immanuel Kant, John Locke, and Thomas Jefferson and recognize them as people who initially started the fight towards individualism and liberal ideals.
Action.
We thank them today because today we are protected by rights, can believe religions freely, and openly question anything. Literally anything.
Nuts. Cut. So funny.
Shout out to the best videographer out there, free of charge.
What? You know you're gonna pay me some money?
Free
I
of
demand at
charge.
least
Free of charge.
$30
Free of charge.
per minute. Yeah.
Hi everybody. No.